For you.
Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity to speak on the third reading of the Land Transport, Road Safety and Other Matters Amendment Bill. As many speakers before me have said, and just referring to the previous speaker, Labor does support this bill, but we do with reservations around two specific areas. But as we do support this bill, I'll start by accentuating the positive that is in this bill, and Labor does support the zero limit for repeat drink drivers. We think that's, as Tau Henare has mentioned, I've got a habit of mentioning him, he's always in the house when I'm in here. As Tau Henare mentioned earlier in this debate, that is a real problem, and Labor supports that particular aspect of this bill. Labor also supports the zero limit for under 20 drivers. That sends a very clear message, as we thought that lowering the adult blood alcohol content would have to 0.05. That zero limit sends a very strong message to those under 20 that drinking and driving will absolutely and utterly not be accepted by New Zealand as a whole. We also support the use of alcohol interlocks for repeat offenders. We think that's a great use of modern technology to ensure that those repeat drink drivers who I've already spoken about can't get behind the wheel again, and that technology should be utilised whenever we can do that. And also, as the member for Palmerston North End, Liz Galloway, suggested earlier, a very popular move in this bill by doubling the minimum prison time for drunk, drugged or reckless drivers causing death. Mr Speaker, they are the positive aspects of this bill. And I think I've been very generous in the time that I've allowed to focus on those aspects of the bill. But I'm going to take up some time, probably against the wishes of Mr Woodhouse, and focus on those areas that Labor does not support, and that is around the blood alcohol level and the increasing the driver age. We've got a situation where we've got a bill that, as the Minister said, will have a good outcome, but should have had an excellent outcome. Yeah. It should have had an excellent outcome. They're the words of the Minister. He said to the House, I commend this bill to the House because I believe it will have a good outcome for the safety of drivers on our roads and the general New Zealand public. But this bill was an opportunity to have an excellent outcome, but we don't have that. But what this bill does leave us with was with a whole lot of question marks around why. Why did the Minister not lower the blood alcohol content from 80 to 50 when there is great public support? There is a weight of research already that says that this will have an effect, and also that there is a weight of public sentiment out there that we saw through the submissions to the Select Committee that would support lowering the blood alcohol level back down to 50. Why didn't the government do anything in this bill to address the real problems that drink driving is causing on the roads? In 2009, I believe there were 33% of the crashes that happened, the fatal crashes that happened on our roads, were caused by drugged or alcohol-influenced drivers. And 21% of accidents on our roads in 2009 were caused of accidents with serious injury were caused by drivers who were drunk or alcohol influenced. Now, what was the human cost there? 137 lives, and more than 560 injuries. Yeah, that's right. So my message to Mr Woodhouse is: in this bill, you had a real opportunity to send a clear message to the New Zealand public that drinking and driving will not be tolerated, but that opportunity wasn't taken.
Wasted.
Why? So, again, during the process, why didn't the government take the opportunity to listen to the weight of evidence that came through from the Select Committee? And, there was a submission by Reverend Graham Lamont and 77 others that suggested that we could have made a serious difference in making sure that we do reduce the harm that we have on our roads by decreasing the alcohol limit available to New Zealanders. And more wise, why didn't the government listen to a senior official who sent an email to someone in the Prime Minister's office who said drivers with blood alcohol content of 80 milligrams who are legally entitled to drive right now are significantly affected by the influence of alcohol. And why didn't the Minister, who has just returned to the House, listen to his own gut instinct? He said himself, "It's just ridiculous that I can sit here and have 3/4 of a bottle of wine," and he's smiling because he knows I'm right. He can have 3/4 of a bottle of wine and still be legally entitled to drive on the roads, but he knew he wouldn't be able to control a vehicle out on the roads. Why didn't he listen to his own gut instinct? And for that matter, why didn't his colleagues back him? Why didn't his colleagues back him? And why didn't the Minister, who we all know is a very keen watcher of the polls, listen to the huge weight of evidence that was floating around at the time? You know, UMR research poll late last year came up with 70% of the respondents who supported lowering the blood alcohol limit from 80 down to 50. Another Research New Zealand poll of 500 people that was published in the Otago Daily Times in April last year showed that of the 500 people that they surveyed, 63% supported lowering the adult blood alcohol limit from 80 milligrams per 100 mils to 50 milligrams per 100 mils. And the interesting thing about that survey was that a previous survey by the same outfit showed that it was a 50-50% split. So there is a significant change in mood around what New Zealanders want to see from the government around sending a message to drink drivers. And also, something in the Waikato Times in September last year showed that a poll of 418 people showed 68% of those wanted the level of alcohol lowered from 80 milligrams per 100 millilitres to 50 grams to 50 millilitres. And, why is the government ignoring that popular weight of support? And why is also the government ignoring the sentiment that is coming through at the Select Committee? Mr Woodhouse mentioned Professor Salmon before. So let me refer to a letter that Mr Salmon sent to the Select Committee that considered this bill on October the 21st last year. Professor Salmon said that the decision not to lower the rate was an appalling decision by government to deliberately delay the lowering of the adult level for drink driving from 0.08 to at least 0.05. Professor Salmon said these words: "Decisions like this make me feel ashamed to be a New Zealander. It makes me feel part of an increasingly backward little nation of plodders and plonkers, having previously been a world leader in progressive social change towards a safer and healthier human society." He went on to say, "Lives are going to be unnecessarily lost and severe maiming injuries to innocent New Zealanders that could be prevented over the next 2 years, while research that even researchers are not calling for is undertaken. The cost to the country has been predicted to be in the hundreds of millions of dollars." And Mr Salmon is right. I believe that the social costs to the country around drink driving fatalities and injuries cost us in 2009 $875 million. That's huge. And we have an opportunity to reduce the real human hurt and, of course, the financial cost that drink driving causes on our roads. So, Mr Speaker, why didn't the government also take the opportunity to work with Labor when we put up a private member's bill to do exactly what we're calling for, to lower the rate from 0.08 to 0.05? Why didn't they take the opportunity? And we've heard a lot of, "You didn't do anything over the last 9 years." Well, what happened to the brighter future that the government was talking about? You've got an opportunity to supply a brighter future for Kiwis who may now go out on the roads and be hit by drunk drivers. So what happened to that brighter future? Why didn't the government, why didn't those MPs back the gut feeling of their minister who's putting forward this bill to make sure that they took serious action and sent a real message to New Zealanders around drunk driving? So, Mr Speaker, just to finish, this bill, while achieving some positives, leaves too many unanswered questions around why they didn't take any action on drink driving, why they're looking at lifting the driving age from 15 to 16. It's a real lost opportunity. I think it's at worst gutless and at best sad. So, Mr Speaker, while we support this bill, we do support it with reservation.
I call